Hello and welcome another day to the channel. Well, yes, you are seeing it in the title of the video, and I come with a small change that we have made in the office area first of all. Well, you're seeing me there that the changes have obviously been subtle. You already know that quite recently. In theory, we made a change in the area of this room, which basically was to make it a play area. Organize it above all because the theme of toys and so on visually, and we changed the theme of the painting to be able to use this room without being what Martine's room was initially going to be, but rather we decided that the little ones were going to sleep together for our comfort and because it is the best option for Anna above all. So we wanted to give this room, well, I take advantage. Apart obviously from being a games room so as not to stage everything, well, the games too, well, a little of them, not because otherwise it is true that that shelf took up a lot of space in the room of both little ones, and I live in an apartment, I don't live in a palace, so I didn't have as much space to dedicate to it. So for that reason we started to make this change, as I tell you in the other video that you saw previously. Now, as I told you, we are going to make a new change. The change basically comes because you know that my husband's work area was in the living room. And at first, well, obviously she's going to stay there because this room, well, apart from using it for me, well, for my work, it is going to stay as a playroom. But it is true that today, as of right now, Martina is crawling with, which I will imagine that she has many more activities than a baby. Normal that it stays in a hammock of time, right? And obviously Anna, because she is a restless 2-year-old girl. Therefore, the best option, especially for Martina, is for her to begin playing on the living room carpet since it is a smaller, safer area. As you know, he often starts crawling, running, and whether he likes it or not, he eventually falls. And join that in the afternoons with my husband because it is true that they do not coincide in schedule and my husband usually works until 6 p.m. And the little ones are asleep when he arrives and they wake up out of nowhere around 4 a.m., 4:30 a.m. They wake up from their nap, so there's a time slot that coincides with the girls playing, my husband working. So that complicated things a lot so that my husband could have meetings and so on. Meetings, calls or whatever, there was a lot of fuss. Ultimately, it fell to me to use another room with the little ones, which Martina opposed. In the end, she would hit herself, and it's better to have the carpet directly on the floor. This, as expected, complicated the situation slightly. So we decided that it was best to go back a little in quotes to the original because it is true that when the office was not and one had to work, and the other one isn't, well, those who didn't work can enjoy it perfectly outside because those who were working closed the office door and it was over. The fact is that, as you know, here I had a table that had been well reused from IKEA. We have kept that table in the storage room because I painted it and so on. Then I lacquered it. It was perfect to use and it really is a double desk that we bought today. At first, when we set this up as an office for the two of us to work together, because there were times when we coincided, and then as I say, it is saved because in theory this is the basis of the room, obviously for the little ones to study when they already need to study. Obviously they're not even in school now, imagine it. And in the meantime, we have entered what is my husband's writing with the desktop computer, which is really the computer with which we both work. In other words, to edit you, what goes super fast and super well for me is that computer. So he has entered the office again, now you'll see. Is it still a play area? Because really when I have to start working in the mornings, especially although I want to make a video where I show you a little how am I organizing myself. Above all, I use the office in the morning area because that's when my husband works from his office, not from his office. And obviously I have the little ones here who help me with everything in the office. Then in the afternoon, as I tell you, well, we are going to attend the living room. They take directly, well, their little box of games that they want. And, well, we are even playing all afternoon. Well, if you follow me on networks, I always leave it on the screen there. And you can see my pleasant afternoons full of toys on the carpet with the two little ones. So my husband comes here into the office. He is at the hours. I have to be with the door closed and without any major problem. Above all, we have done it, as I tell you, for ease. The room was already there. Well, that's it. Now, the room was already restored and prepared for this change. It has been a change that has come a little suddenly, but it's good that in the end, everything was prepared. We have not needed any type of investment, and the desk that I had restored is going to continue saving it because we are going to reuse it. when the fish start studying as easy as that. At the time, we decided that the only thing we would have to buy would be obviously the 2 computer chairs, well, for them, but the rest they can use perfectly. Like everything, I already got to work a little. For example, it is true that I used to be at the desk since it was double because there was the issue of the printer, but now since it was a desk, well, normal, it couldn't have occurred to me. Well, that bookstore Kalas that I had there with a good toy maker who is still a toy maker, not that it was a magnification to put it in the cardboard boxes because you can't see anything there. There is no type of visual noise and everything remains much more orderly at home than with Peke. You already know it's very complicated. Well, I turned it over and put it like a rectangular shape, okay, that is lying horizontally. And there I put the printer basically for convenience so he has more room. Obviously, well, to work on the desk, right? And then the rest of the shelf that's free, I have left it free because many times I end up putting papers there or he ends up putting it not a little, well, if it gets messed up, that there are not so many things in between. Then we both had this drawer because I already cleaned this drawer because there you see me playing with the little ones because this is how it is. We have to entertain ourselves as much as we can. I already cleaned this drawer and basically organized everything there is. Well, my theme of doing crafts, sewing and so on. And we also bought it from IKEA at the time when we set up the studio. The study, as you can see, is still in tone since white, wood, black, a little in line with the rest of the house. The only thing I don't know about these colors is the little one's room, but hey, I put it in a pink tone because I think it was what they might like the most on the face when they are a little older. As I say, I did put that there under those little boxes that I have reused. Very easy. I bought those paintings, not even that they are the cheapest they have for a long time. I removed the back and what I did was that little plastic that they bring, because they don't really bring glass, they bring like a kind of plastic. I glued it with silicone. They heat the frame, okay? And I put that with double-sided tape on the wall. And there is a very cool corner with photos where I put it, well, the photo of my husband and me from this summer and him with the 2 little ones. Then, as I tell you, this shelf remains lying down and the only thing I would have left would be to put another box for the topic of plastics that you see, which is the only space that is left free. Then we continue using the white shelf that I already invested in when I made the original change of the office. Each time you will see, well, how I decorated, that is something that I asked him that he especially wanted. And, well, to him a little, well, that he left me to free will, but I asked him if he would like, well, to have a little decoration. That seasonal, no, if it is autumn, if it is lights like that, also a little indirect and such. And he agreed. So now you'll see a little bit of what I put here, but hey, basically that's what you're seeing. Now later he's going to put the one that did it, obviously the change of the desk, because I tried that, but that was impossible and we had to overturn it to be able to put it in. Because it is true that the desk that was before IKEA came apart on the legs, it was very easy to put it in and out and move it around the house, but not this one. This is like one piece, right? So in order not to have to remove the bottom part from the top part, we had to put it in lying down. That led to us having to pull out all the gossip that we had been storing in desk drawers. So look where we had to clean and organize those drawers, and now obviously we cleaned the entire topic from this desk. Does it have like a special little space in the back? Well, for them. Cables and all that, well, he has already done the cleaning there, as you have seen with the vacuum cleaner and everything, well, of all the fluff that could have been stored there. Another thing I did put in was his lamp. You know that at the time he wanted a standing lamp like this, but it was a flexo type so that it did not take up space on the desk, since it has also gone inside. I think it has become a very cool space because apart from that, it is a space that is obviously used now, well, a lot, you will imagine, every day for it and the mornings for me. Apart from using it as well, not the issue of little children's toys. In the end, it is great for us to have it there organized and removed from the visually clean environment. The area also suits us very well now because I think it has turned out very elegant, so to speak. Not those touches of gray with some small golden touches like the lamp, which I think is very elegant. Or the area where I have put the paintings like this, without backgrounds, that is, as if the photos were framed. I think they look very cool. In the end, it is a space that we are now using a lot, a room that we are using a lot because in itself it worked and we worked the same. Well, not outside really. The writer is something that we use daily, but at the same time I have put it inside because it allows us to have the room used, well, basically daily. But here you see that he is with his favorite assistant, my daughter Anna, who is helping him in this part because he took care of it. Well, here you also have the other little one who leaves a few minutes. Well, that means sitting in what is a high chair or a sun lounger and allows us to be a little freer to do things. This was the moment when she had just got up from her nap and she was there, well, cooperative, and here, well, that basically leaves you with my husband. Then I will show you a little about the Deco theme, which I made very simple. That is, I put something very simple, okay, in the room. But hey, by giving it nothing with 4 little touches, I think we can do something very, very, very cool. So I'll leave you nothing here. I hope you like it. I leave you with the last one, the last clicks, which in the end are more relaxed clicks, right?
Or where we meet, well, the coolest part that is,
Of
decoration. I hope you like the change. If it is, so I invite you to like it.
This way you can support me on YouTube, supporting me.
Recommend continuing to grow and being able to continue bringing quality content.
And thank you so much for seeing me.
And see you in an upcoming video.
Goodbye and take care.